This is Max Cheers for Pro Boxing Fans. I'm glad to be joined in person. Obviously, we did the Zoom last week by Adam Smith. Adam, first of all, obviously you've been in boxing a long time now, and seeing events like this, the Sparring Club, it's brilliant. And for the fighters, you hear all these stories of Moses Itauma coming in as a 15-year-old into Lawrence College gym. Now we're seeing these talents on the biggest stage, aren't we?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've just got in, and I know you've been here during fight week, which I've missed this time. Normally I like to get in a bit earlier, but just circumstances. Got in late last night and straight into the fire of the Box Raw Sparring Club. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? The chance to sort of impress, and there's a lot of celebrity faces around, not just the promotional powerhouses of Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren and obviously Spencer Brown's here, George Warren. There's lots of those, but also fighters. Lawrence Okoli and Derek Chisora, Amir Khan's knocking around Harlem Eubank. So a chance to impress, a chance maybe to get their place on one of these cards. And it's also a great vibe. It's fun, the music's playing. It's really good to do things like this on Fight Week, especially so close to a big event like it is on Saturday. So we got this, and then we dust ourselves down, got the weigh in, and then we're straight in.
Yeah, definitely. We spoke about Dillian's shape, and now I'm sure you've been watching from home, and obviously I've seen him in person. Now we've seen him. He's here. He's had his first face-off with Moses. Is everything we thought? Is this the fittest Dillian maybe that we've seen in a very long time?
Yeah, look, Dillian has taken this seriously. He would have done. He would have trained incredibly hard. I know he's had Ty Mitchell in camp. I know that they've worked many hours, and I know that he believes that he will school Moses Itauma tomorrow night. He's 37. He's been inactive, which is a worry to me. Hasn't fought since I saw him in Gibraltar, where he was okay, got the job done, wasn't overly impressive. Then the Christian Hammer fight before that. You got to back to Jermaine Franklin. It's then the Fury sort of fight, which he never really turned up in. It's been a long time since we've had a really impressive performance from Dillian Whyte. So yes, he's beaten Derek Chisora a couple of times and Joe Parker, but boxing's all about timing and levels. And I think a Dillian Whyte of a few years ago and a Moses of maybe a year's time would be absolutely thrilling. But I think now maybe Moses' team feel that it's the right time to get Dillian Whyte, because of possibly he might slow down slightly, the feet might not be quite what they were, but he is a very experienced fighter and he looks in great shape, and he's got a big left hook, and he's been many rounds with top level opposition. And the biggest problem I think for Team Itauma is that Dillian doesn't fear anyone. He's had this hardened childhood in Jamaica. He came to England, he was a dad at 13. He's had a tough road, and he's been on big shows and in big occasions before. So I think he'll love it. I think he'll thrive on it. Is he good enough at this stage to be able to deal with the guy I think Moses Itauma is, and I think he will become? I'm not sure. He's going to have to be very careful in those first 2 or 3 rounds, I think, when Itauma is at his slickest and freshest, and I think he hits very hard, and I think he's got to be very careful of those uppercuts, Dillian. But if Dillian can drag it out a bit, hey, Moses has never been past 6 rounds, and could this be a fight too soon for Moses Itauma? Team Itauma don't think so. I'm not so sure, but Dillian Whyte's team probably do think that. And I like to see a bit of irritation, a bit of spite. What's it? I'm just cannon fodder. Thomas Triber, unfortunately, giving him the wrong nickname. I mean, read nothing into that. Thomas is a brilliant pro, absolutely nothing to that. But I think Dillian used it as just, okay then, you're going to do this. You're treating me like this. I'm just the B side. I'm this, I'm that. He'll do all he can to try and wind Moses up as well in his way. Probably feels a bit disrespected. People just seeing Moses is going to win and win easily, and he's saying, hang on a minute, look at the resume. I've won 31 of 34 fights. I'm not a mug here. I'm a very good fighter, and he is. And I've got huge respect for what Dillian Whyte has done in his life and in the ring. But I think he's got a difficult assignment tomorrow. I think if you flip it round and look into Dillian and think what he's got to do, I think it's hard. Don't know if he really knows what he's got to do apart from try and drag Moses late. Moses is a southpaw. How many other great southpaws are there around? Oleksandr Usyk is a phenomenon. Take him out of the equation. You've had Michael Moorer. Audley Harrison was a southpaw heavyweight. They're not many. Tyson Fury switches, not many. That's a big advantage to start with. Then he's got the speed probably of a middleweight, because that's where he started off as a light 56 kg fighter. He's got the IQ, he's got the discipline, the dedication. He hits incredibly hard. He's got a phenomenal team around him, and he's ice cold Moses as well. I tell you what, I know know there's a lot of fighters that are very, very fortunate they're not Dillian Whyte tomorrow night and facing Moses Itauma the way he's fighting. But we don't know. He's still got to prove it in the ring. It's fight number 13. If he's emphatic tomorrow, then they'll be clamouring for Usyk and all of that. I still think we should take our time a little bit. Maybe it's Dillian, maybe it's a Bacoli, a Chisora, then spring in. But Moses would fight Usyk tomorrow. I think Moses should go and join Usyk's training camp and learn alongside him like he has done with Fury and Joshua. But if you listen to fighters, Moses Itauma's the real deal. And I think Dillian Whyte probably knows that. But he probably thinks he's got a trick or two up his sleeve, and he thinks if he can deal with me, fine. All respect. If Dillian Whyte gets blown away tomorrow night, he'll be the first to say, this is the heir apparent. But until that actually happens, you've got to give Dillian a live chance. On paper, much more experience as a pro, being in with so many, dangerous, plenty of knockouts on that, plenty of rounds boxed. You've got to give him a chance in a heavyweight fight. But so don't write him off. It's a banana skin for Moses Itauma. I don't think he slips on it, but until we see it, that's why we're going to watch it on DAZN.
Yeah, definitely. Something that we're not going to know, but I am still going to ask you, is the demeanour of the fighters. For Dillian, like you say, the Thomas incident, obviously I do believe it was a complete mistake, and the motivation he takes from that. But for him, he's seen so many people writing him off, and he seems calm. I'm assuming that might be confidence. We all want to see him explode maybe and get into Moses' head, but we're not seeing that. And then for Moses, on the biggest stage, his first main event, obviously he's been a superstar from the start, but now he is on the main event. He is fighting in Riyadh. He's got this whole stadium's for Moses. It's the Moses show. How do you think both fighters are feeling coming into this?
I think Dillian got a little rattled at the head-to-head. I think we first saw that. I think we'll see that more at the weigh-in. I think he'll maybe we'll have the old wolf howl or something. There'll be something, but I think they've got a lot of respect for each other. Dillian's not a sort of guy. He gets on with it. You know, he was the bad guy against AJ back in the day, but Dillian's great, and he does it his own way. He says what he thinks, doesn't mess about, and he rubs people up the wrong way. Sometimes people don't like him. I like him a lot. I spent a lot of time with him. I've chatted to him at dinners about life, and he adores his mum, and he's always asking about my mum. It's the first thing he says. Whenever my mum used to be at ringside, he always used to come up to her. I've got huge respect for Dillian Whyte, and he's got a family to feed. It's a big money fight for him, and he's made good money through his career. So huge respect to a man at 37 who came to England and found it difficult to even settle, and after his life in Jamaica. So yeah, look, I just think he wants to get on with it, and he wants to challenge himself. He said to me at Ipswich the other week when we were chatting at the press conference between Wardley and Justice Hooney, I said, Dill, who do you want to fight? He said, someone I haven't fought. Yeah. So here we go. He's got Moses. You know, he was going to fight. Was it Joe Joyce? He was down to fight before. Yes. I remember the conundrum, but he was going to fight in April, wasn't he? And then he dropped a weight on his finger, and he's like, why won't my team let me fight? And he's a crazy character, and we love that. We love crazy characters in the business. I don't think he really needs to do anything. You could wind him up. I just like Moses' demeanour. I think Moses going about it, it's another job. I think Ben and him say, right, this is a job we've got to do. I think they thought that with Dempsey McCain. I think they thought that with Mike Balogun. Here we go with Dillian Whyte. It's another job. We expect to win, and this is what we're going to do. They'll have their tactics. It'll be worked out. Lee Wiley and the team, it'll be done. Don't know what he's got to do, and Moses has just got to go and execute it. I don't think he'll be fazed by this, being main event, being co-main, being on the bottom of the card. I don't think Moses is like that. I think he knows he's destined to be something in this world. I think he knows that. Look, he's going to get resilience on the way. He's going to get tough times. He's going to get moments that he's going to question himself, both in the ring and out the ring. But for now, he seems the complete package, and he's got a team wrapped around him who believe in him. And we believe in him as well. And we've seen boxing for a long time over the world. And I'll say this to you, I haven't been as excited. I was very excited when AJ turned pro. But I don't think I've been as excited about a heavyweight turning pro since Mike Tyson was raiding through the heavyweights when I was growing up. Lennox Lewis, yes, of course, and Tyson Fury and David Haye, and there are others. But there's something about Moses Itauma. I mean, Francis Warren thinks he's going to be a cross-generational superstar. There's a long way to go. You got to build the brand and all the rest of it. But there's something about Moses that just makes me believe in him. It's what I've heard from other fighters, what they say. And normally you get, now he hasn't got this or he hasn't got that. You don't get any of that from anyone. And I think that speaks a lot.
Yeah, we all know Moses' talent. It's undeniable. And I want to ask, I imagine you might think that they are just stories. I remember a few years ago, Daniel Dubois, in fact, we talk of him falling out with Don Charles and they run into the fight. There's stories seeping about Moses apparently being dropped a few times. So do you think these are just fight week stories, trying to build the fight up almost? I've just heard that Moses has been dropped a few times in sparring. I asked who was it, the person said they couldn't tell me, but that's what I've heard. Do you think these are just stories?
Who knows? Everyone drops everyone in sparring, don't they? Look, sparring is sparring. It's different in the ring. You're almost certainly going to have to go down at some point in your career. Very few don't. Carl Froch had a great chin. Stilly, look what happened with George Groves and the Jermaine Taylor fight. You're going to have to, especially as a heavyweight, who's not going to be hurt or go down. You look through the history books. Lennox Lewis, our greatest, he got wiped out by Oliver McCall and wiped out by Hasim Rahman, and then exacted revenge on the pair of them. Mike Tyson, who we talked about, how many times did he get stopped, get knocked down? It happens in heavyweight boxing. Tyson Fury, how he got up against Deontay Wilder, how he went up and down. That's part of what makes you, doesn't it? I mean, Oleksandr Usyk is maybe just a bit of a one-off, right? He hasn't been a heavyweight all of his career. Went down to that low blow against Daniel Dubois, but has never been down. And I don't read much into sparring stories. I really don't. What I read into is how good they look in sparring and what people say and how they've recovered from difficult moments in sparring. That's the more important thing. I'm sure there's been sparring stories that have been right and sparring stories that have been wrong, and we all love a chat in boxing, don't we? I mean, what really matters is what happens under the lights. Yeah,
definitely. While I've got you, just last two, Daniel Dubois signing with Sam Jones. I saw Dave Allen say he needs to really think if boxing is for him and he wants to continue. It looks like he does want to continue, become a two-time world champion. First of all, are you happy to see this move, and what do you want from Daniel in the next few years? So what's the rebuild look like?
I messaged Sam Jones about 30 seconds after I saw it and said, well done, he's made a very good decision. Sam is a great manager, and he's really good as well for people that maybe a quieter like Daniel, that he can really sort of, Sam loves a chat, and he lives and breathes for his fighters, and I think it's good. I think it's positive. I think it's maybe a little freshen up, and I think it's great. And he's still got Riz and the guys all around him, so I just think it's an extra addition. And Sam is very wily, and he's got good connections, and he loves his fighters. He's passionate about them, isn't he? He absolutely loves them. You talk about any of them, the Jack Cattralls, the Adam Hameds, he absolutely loves them, and I think he'll be a very, very good fit for Daniel Dubois. So that answers the question from Dave, whether Daniel wants to do it. You've got to ask yourself these questions. He's 27. He was a former world champion. He's come back before. He'll come back again, and I think it's a good move.
Yeah, now last two. I saw John However reported did a Zoom interview with David Hay, and something stuck out to me. He said that Derek Chisora is the man that can beat Oleksandr Usyk. What are your thoughts on that?
David said that.
Yes.
Derek's already been in the ring with Oleksandr Usyk, and possibly that was his best chance, because it was in, if I remember rightly, in COVID, in lockdown, was it? It was a strange one. It was a Halloween night, wasn't it? And Usyk won. I mean, Derek gave him plenty to think about, and he was on top of him, and he charged him, but Usyk, won the fight and won it fine. And since then, he's grown into a heavyweight even more, and I think he's got even better. I love David. He's a great friend, and he's a great guy, and he's normally very, very good with his opinions, and I think his boxing analysis is excellent, but I don't think Derek Chisora beats Oleksandr Usyk. I don't think Derek Chisora should fight Oleksandr Usyk. Yeah. I mean, Derek could fight AJ, although they're old friends. He could fight Dillian. I thought that was the fight that was going to happen, actually, but Dillian's taken this. Who else? I mean, I don't know. There's a number of them he could fight out there. Joe Parker again, all sorts. But how many more does he want? I thought it was sort of one more or 50 or last dance keeps going. I mean, he just keeps going. He's almost in the ring now. I mean, he's banging on the ring, isn't he? There, trying to inspire these guys. I mean, he's everywhere, Derek. So I don't know. Look, I mean, he'll fancy it against anybody, but I think you'd say Oleksandr Usyk would be an extremely massive favourite going into that fight.
Yeah, and since you came back to boxing, a project that I've been happy to be at a lot of these shows, GBM Sports. I spoke to Izzy. Obviously, the latest fight has been announced. Talk me through this new card, please.
Yeah, really excited about it. Ben Crocker in with a guy that I think is a really good fighter, Sean McComb. They're both good fighters. Undefeated Ben, of course, and Sean. I thought he looked really, really good on the first GBM show in Hull. I thought he was fantastic against Barboza Jr. Really, he should have become a world champion. I think he's a world challenger in waiting, if not a world champion in waiting. Got a good fight to deal with. Good fighter in front of him, undefeated. Good top of the bill. Love the fact Tyson Gallagher is back and in a really interesting fight as well. You got the likes of Shaquille Thompson, Gradis Kraus, I think, is on the bill. Ed Hardy, my boy, the farm boy, fantastic. Taz Nadeem, I think, is back. It's they're all back. Reese Mould, I think it's going to be a great night. Sheffield, can't wait. September 27th. Izzy's here. We're already rattling the drum, banging the drum. Izzy's in and around it. He's loving it, and GBM just going from strength to strength. We've got a great September on DAZN. September the 6th, I think it is. We're in Sunderland, Pat McCormack. Then the 13th, we're got the big fight in Belfast. Fantastic fight, Windsor Park. The other Crocker with Donovan. Great fight that. And also the Channel 5 show as well. But DAZN have got Channel 5's the night before, isn't it? Kieran Malloy and Conan and Bateson. That's the 5th before the 6th. 13th, big one. 27th is our show, GBM, on DAZN. So DAZN got a fantastic month of boxing. Really excited about it. And GBM, a couple of other, hopefully, big announcements to come soon. But it's great. What a good year Izzy's having so far. I saw him out in New York. He was chatting to His Excellency. So he's in with the movers and shakers like only Izzy can, and I'll let him do that. But great card. Mitch Casolo will be working hard back home on it. Fantastic chance for these fighters. Great to see Crocker and McComb. Brilliant. Ellie Hallowell, Ticey. Fantastic. Great night ahead.
Brilliant, Adam. Thank you for your time.